As I was saying in my live last night, I had a lot on my mind. So I kind of, gave the world the business. And after I did that live, I talked to one of the viewers, Miss Mary. Got in contact with me last night and we had a long talk. And I told her, I said, as long as we've been talking, you could have got on a live stream and chopped this up. This commentary is pertaining to Seth Rogers and Miss Nina, something that Mary and I discussed, and I want to share it with you all during this live stream. Live number 2, everybody. Hey, Scott. I'm not in Seth's shoes naturally. I don't have a child missing. I've never had to deal with a missing child. Hello, darling. Thank you for joining me. And I can see how he would not want to accept the worst case scenario pertaining to his son. But I'm going to give my opinion as respectfully as I can during this live stream pertaining to K&C. I think you two are evenly yoked. I think you two saw deviance in one another and you played off of it. I think Seth and Nina were collateral damage to each. Each had something to be vengeful about, if you understand what I'm saying. Katie had a problem with Seth. Marriage didn't work. Whatever went wrong. And she's probably held on to that for a long, long time. I think she possibly could have been detached from mothering. But she rode the ride, which a lot of people do. They don't ever tell people they're unhappy with themselves, they're unhappy with their life, they're unhappy with being a mother, they're unhappy with the kid. As Mary said, I believe Mary said this last night, I think it was a fact. Mary said she thinks it was about the baby, the boy. Him not meeting her expectations as a quote unquote normal kid, possibly so. So I said, well, I don't know if she saw signs that, Sebastian had, just drastic issues as a small kid, like a toddler. I can't remember all that conversation, that Seth gave, many moons ago. But the thing is, I thought his habits became more prevalent later. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, that's fine. Anywho, these two saw something in each other that's similar. All that you've heard on YouTube pertaining to these two entities, K and C, is their hatred for the other one and also the child. Chris don't like children. So everything that he was doing to Nina over the years was to spite her. It was not to have the little girl. It was not to gain access to her. Because Nina told that to us, okay? We'll start with her. Nina told us that in a live stream, that the man mistreated her own children, which I don't still understand why this woman would still date this man, marry him, and then expect him to be a father to her child by him. He told you he didn't want kids. He didn't treat your children well. That's first and foremost. So before you even thought of going on with this man, he was already mistreating your children. So that was your wake-up call to leave him alone. But you pressed forward anyway. And let's be truthful, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Yeah, I'm calling a spade during this live, okay? You had no business dealing with Chris, but you went on anyway. And then you get pregnant, and he told you he didn't want no kid, and yet you still thought what? Because you did what most women do. You think you can change a man. You can't change a man. Nothing you can do to change a man. He has to say to himself, I value this person. I respect this person. You cannot make somebody like you, love you, and you sure as hell can't make somebody want to be a father. So you were dealing with a joker who didn't want no damn kids. He had all these failed marriages. That should have been a wake-up call. See, the signs were there because they usually are. It's up to us to say, I see something's not right with this person, and I don't think this is a person I need to be dealing with. Because I don't think anybody would possibly be happy with C, okay? I don't. Possibly K either. So he's got baggage from marriages. He's got baggage in himself, don't want no kids. This woman still pressing. And finally, he did the ultimate revenge, lured her to Tennessee to try to take the child. It's payback. He doesn't care for Faith. He has no use for that little girl. None. Now, to Kay. You had your own traumas in life. Young woman having a kid, going in the military, left the baby behind with the father, come back, maybe things didn't work out. Obviously, they didn't work out. And you felt some type of resentment in you towards him. Y'all going back and forth with allegations of this and that, abuse, child molestation, whatever. It don't work out. So then you meet up with C. So you both got baggage. Extensive baggage, internal baggage within thyself and other partners. And then I also believe there's a deviant side to both of you. And you meshed and became one. The gist of the story is that a little boy came along for the ride, and his name is Sebastian. And he did not fit the prototype. Anybody listening to what the Queen is saying? Hello, sweetheart. He did not fit the prototype. Because you got to think about a human being, their expectations, and what they want out of life. And perhaps while she was raising this kid, whether he was normal, not normal, see signs, something ain't right, this event could have taken place if there was nothing wrong with Sebastian. Come on, Queen. If nothing was wrong with Sebastian, there was no autism on the spectrum. I don't want to be a parent. And I'm with this big joker. He don't want to be your daddy, stepdaddy. Checkmate. Because let's be truthful. A lot of children are no longer here because there was nothing wrong with them. They had no autism, no behavioral problems. Something was wrong with their damn parents. The parents checked out, no longer wanted to engage. So everybody's situation ain't the same. And frankly, there's no reason to get rid of a kid. I don't care what's wrong with your child. As I brought you the story about the boys sleeping on the porch in Detroit. They're trying to say, oh, the boys were unruly, they're this, they're that. I don't care. Then call the state. Call the state, tell them come pick up your unruly children. You no longer can care for them. Hey, I need somebody help me get these kids some help. Then you decide if you want to take the children back or the state will give the kids back to you, whatsoever. So these two are evenly yoked, K and C. Somewhere in their minds, they meshed because they both had baggage from previous relationships and also dealing with children that neither wanted. So everything you have seen unfold on social media, this box here, is spite. C spited Nina, K spited Seth. That's what this is about. The ultimate revenge. I'll get you back for what you did to me over here yesteryear. Checkmate. But oh my goodness, what a price was paid. Listening to one of the fans talk to me last night about her story with autistic children. You need to hear her story. And maybe what I'm saying to you will make a whole lot of sense. And I want to share it. I hope she don't mind. And when a child got to a certain age, the autistic child, the father walked off. But yet he was fighting the mama for years for the child. Everybody paying attention? Fighting. And then one day, poof, voila, magic, disappear. So what was all the fighting for? For the kid. because he wanted control, which you see a lot with sadistic people, sociopaths. They have to have control. They have no desire for the object. Because in the end, that's all a human is too, a sociopath, psychopath. They are an object. So faith is an object to C, Sebastian an object to K. You two are evenly yoked. That's why you're together. That's why the universe put you together. Come on with it, Queen. It's called 6 degrees of separation. I've said this with the Wells case as well. And the universe has been talking to the Queen for some years now, 3 years, 3.5 years. They are all evenly yoked. That's why their children are missing. Come on, Queen, preach. Your children are missing because you're deviant. You've been that way. And more than likely, listen carefully now. There was going to be an accident had K and C never got together. Woo! Shut your mouth. Are you following me? There was going to be an accident had these two met somebody else. Because I know some of you are thinking, no, Queen, it only happened because they got together. Oh, no, sweetheart. See, you got to pay attention. I'm welcome. There was going to be some smoke in the city had K never met C, C never met K. Because the hate was already there before C walked into the picture. Woo! Have mercy. It has always been about Seth, if you've paid attention. See, I'm a listener. I gab when I want to, but I listen. I listen to the universe. Some of you can't do that because you're too caught up in other people's nonsense and rhetoric and he said and she said. You're not paying attention. You see, the groundwork has already been laid. Now, did you hear what I said? The groundwork had already been laid for mischief for Sebastian Rogers. The universe had already told the story. Nobody would listen. So what is that old saying? And black folks love to say this. I can show you better than I can tell you. Yes, it has always been about Seth. Exactly. Thank you. The hate has been there. Because if you love your child, nobody can walk in the picture and change your mind about your baby. Whether your baby is autistic or not, wayward or not. Did somebody hear that? Say it again, Queen. Nobody can walk in the picture and change your mind about your baby you carried. Two spiteful beings came together because the universe brought them together, just like the whales. You better wake up. 6 degrees of separation, one over here and one over there, and he brought them two together. They got the same past, the same history with drugs, alcohol, DHS, removal of children, abuse of children. Ding, 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 ding. Somebody listening? And then poof, voila, one day a little white girl goes missing. And then the boys are taken by the state, and don't nobody fight to get the boys back. Come on, preach, Queen. Lord, have mercy. Repeat. What is it that they say about meeting people? You meet the same people over and over and over. Different face, size, color, same demeanor. Same demeanor. So even with the Wells case, there was going to be mischief no matter who those two hooked up with, married. Woo! Checkmate. You gotta listen. The universe brought them together, and they still together in the mischief. No fight for the children, lost custody of the boys. La-di-da, keep on moving as if it's nothing. Because that's how they've been living. That's the reason why they was in the situation in the first place. Come on, Queen. Are you listening? Now you mosey on down to Hendersonville. It's the same game. He got baggage. She got baggage. They came together with baggage. So it was going to be some foolishness irregardless. And had they never met one another, it was going to be some bullshit. Because the mother has hate in her because of Seth, her relationship with the baby daddy. So it wouldn't matter if she never married. She didn't date, she didn't do nothing. Ask me how I know. Because I'm a living testimony of hate. Two individuals walking the earth, hating one another over some bullshit that happened when they were young people, and they carried that all the way to death. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And yes, that's the one thing a spiteful parent, detached parent does not want to look at. Thank you for saying that in the chat. I don't want to look at something that look like the motherfucker I hate and despise. Amen. So every day I'm hating Seth, I'm looking at the prodigy, the final product of what I hate. So how am I gonna love him? He looked like what I hate. I got y'all read, I got y'all pegged. Because like I said, I got my own story. I got my own journey. That's why I know this Proudfoot bullshit better than anybody. Because I done lived. I know hate. I know it personally. And I know what it would do to you. It'll make you take it out on your children. Because you hate that person over there. All you had to do was move on and let it go. But you couldn't. So what did you say? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to take your baby from you, even though he's a part of me, but I don't want him. And that's what you did. You took that man's child because you had separated Sebastian from yourself. You dirty heathen. You stole that kid. You and that motherfucker. You stole that kid. And you have been sitting back, laying in the cut as if it's nothing. That's why you're quiet. Exactly. I don't want him, but I hate you so much you can't have him. Exactly. The stepfather does not want his own child, Faith, and she never wanted Sebastian. And they both have held hate for Nina and Seth. And I do believe that is the reason why Sebastian Rogers is currently missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Because the hate outweighed anything and everything. He never had a say. He never had a chance. And she knew that. They both know that. That's why he's not here. And if it is true that there was a CPS report same month, February, how ironic is that the child goes missing same month? And then it's the same with the Wells. Everybody harped on the same MO. Oh, CPS was coming. Oh, CPS was coming. And you know, Queen, bring a receipt. Bring a receipt. Because the state is never going to tell you they had a case, open the case, close the case. And what's baffling about it, that little girl goes missing as well, if we'd believe that version. Then we hear that old interview with Seth. I played it the other day because it came up in my news break, which was so ironic, where he's being interviewed with the PI he had working at the time. And he told the interviewer, I don't really know what was going on. I found out afterwards. Do you know how crazy that sounds? To tell a stranger, you didn't know what the fuck was going on until after the child goes missing. Because they kept them in the dark for a reason. That's why he's gone. The old saying says a dead man tells no tales. But that's no disrespect to you, Seth. Because like I said, you have every right to want your child alive. But we have to use common sense. At what point would the person want to give your child back? Hey, he's not my responsibility. Hey, why am I still taking care of this kid? Hey, why is this kid hiding out of my house? Hey, how would the child grow being held hostage in a house? For what reason? Make it make sense. And see, what you have to always ask yourself are the entities involved, which are all three parents. You're entitled to feel about any of them as you see fit. I'm not here to argue nothing about neither one. What I'm trying to bring you is truth. That hate breeds contempt. Contempt breeds hate. And I believe that's why the child is invisible. The mother checked out. She chose her prize. And that's her husband. He weighed higher than her son, Sebastian. But as I said before, I believe this would be a dilemma if there was no CP. Because you are not going to make me believe she was so easily coerced to get rid of a 15-year-old child. He was almost grown. What would be the point? And he has a living father. Make it make sense. Because I'm going to do you one better. I want to take what you desire You can't have him. Because you see, people would still expect KP to be a parent, whether he stayed with Seth or not. Pay attention now. And if I'm trying to fully check out, I can't check out. He's still here. Exactly. Man, Nels, I agree. You're still going to expect me to be in Sebastian's life. Pick him up. Tote him around. Play mother. I don't want to. So whether Seth was going to get custody, whatever version you believe, it don't matter. When a motherfucker checks out, age ain't got a damn thing to do with it. Because you hear the stats with the FBI about children going missing and being unalive by their parents. It's usually in the infant 8 years old range. But hate is hate. Adult children leave here all the time, and they're usually special needs. Come on, quit it. Because the people check out from taking care of them. They no longer want to change diapers, rear them, take them to doctors and appointments and tug them alone and tell them to stop and leave that alone and put that down. No, Susie, you can't have that. No, you can't do this. They don't want to do it no more. So what is the easiest solution? Neglect and or unaliving. So now we got two free birds who have nothing to say to the public, the news, YouTube, about Sebastian. Why is that? Because somewhere in that little small pea hole brain both of you got, somebody must have put something in your ear and said, stop talking. Stop talking. You don't look good. Stop talking. So they did. But that is their mistake. Because in order to make oneself not look guilty, you're supposed to do what? Engage. And they have chosen not to engage. So every month, the news brings you some type of commentary about Sebastian, and you don't hear anything from these two heathens. Why? Well, why not? This your child. This your stepchild. Or you have nothing to say? You don't go to the church. You don't go to the school. You have nothing to say about Sebastian? You have nothing positive to say? Exactly. Because the case is closed in your eyes. It's a done deal. I don't know how you sleep at night. But as we've learned with people of your caliber, many have slept quite fine. And what would be sad to know that other people aided you in this vanishing of a boy child. And how would they sleep at night? Mighty fine. As we learned with that case out in Oklahoma, they slept just fine until the cavalry came with an arrest warrant. She checked out, and I won't doubt she probably checked out when Sebastian was in the womb. And I get it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is not parent material. Everybody has things they go through in trying to raise children. This is why you don't keep having them. And you never had another child. Why is that? Why is that, KB? Why have you not had any more children? Why some of you think she wants faith? See, y'all ain't really watching the story because the story is telling itself. You ain't gave Chris a baby because you don't want no kids. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you. You don't want any children because you didn't want the 15-year-old. And it's no telling how long it was that you did not want Sebastian. And the fact that you would forfeit your relationship with your child for CP tells the story. He never wanted a child, and nor did you. And that is why both of you are evenly yoked. You are of the same caliber. The universe brought you together for a reason. And Sebastian was collateral damage because you have never gave birth to another child. And he has not made another child with you or anybody else, I guess, because neither one of you want other children. He just wanted to hurt Nina. Still, he has no use for faith because there's no way I'm going to believe one day you tell her I don't want a kid and the next day you want a kid. Hell no. You just wanted to hurt Nina. And you've done a good job at that. But as they say, it's what you allow. Because Nina had no business being with you when she saw you being abusive to her children. And that's her journey, not mine. And I'm sure she beats herself up knowing had I left Chris alone, I wouldn't have this story to tell. But you can't go back. And as for Kay, you wish you could undo those 15 years. But you can't. So what you did was you got rid of this boy child. But there's some of us who are not going to let the story die down. And I'm one of those people. You can't shut up everyone. Because the truth will prevail. That's why you're quiet. Because you know people see through the lies and the deception and the fraud. And God don't like ugly. And God will handle those who hurt his children because he's a child of God first. He's not your child. He's a child of God. And there will be justice for this child. I often think of how horrible his life must have been. And that's what people don't understand about abuse. You think you're seeing what you're seeing, but you're not, because you don't know people. So although he had a father and the father has parents, it wasn't enough because he was stuck with these demons down here. And he didn't have a way out. He didn't have a way out. but there will be victory. I know this. I'm not going to say that it won't be victory, because then that means I've given up on the case for the truth to be revealed. And all this other stuff you seeing, all this fluff and shenanigans and people jumping out of drones and helicopters and acting like they care for this little boy and care for this parent, that parent. These people don't give a fuck about none of them. They're fraudulent too. And I see through y'all asses as well. Stop acting like you care for this missing kid with your commentary and your fake searches and your lawsuits. Fuck the bullshit. Just stop it. Go ride a donkey some damn where else. My prayers are with Seth Rogers, his family. I can't say Merry Christmas to you, but what I can do is tell you that God got it. Because your child is a child of God. And God, He has this. And it may not seem like it under the circumstances, but God got it. All I can do is pray for you. Pray that the truth will be revealed, that you'll get real answers and not none of this other hocus pocus nonsense, because it's disrespectful to one, the child, and to the father who has shown that he cares. As for the other two, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, because you have shown you don't care nothing about this boy, and that's why he's not here. But God is going to take control, because He has control, because He is Alpha and He is Omega. And that, my dear, you are not. So nobody gives a damn about who you know in Hendersonville. Hendersonville is this compared to Mother Earth. Let me make that clear. And it's coming from Big Ange. Hendersonville is this of the whole earth. It's nothing. So nobody cares who lives there and who's related to whom. You are this much of importance. That's why you're quiet. Because you know you are non-relevant motherfucking factor. That's my commentary. Thank you for listening to the Vault XL. Happy holidays, everybody.